Hello, excuse me. Thank you. You have 5 more minutes, so please round up your discussions. Also, I would like to make an announcement because somebody seems to have left their hotel key back there. So if this is yours, it looks, I don't, Protea Hotel in Cape Town. Thank you. Hello. Everybody, sorry. The time is now up. If we can please ask you to have one representative per group come to the front and introduce your ideas very briefly and quickly if possible. And then you can either provide the written ideas to this young beautiful lady here, and please email them to me. Here. I am here. Do you have a representative? Come, please.
But
Very short. We have a minute per person.
that with the constitution. 2 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
My name is Takarani. Okay. This one is fine. Okay. Yeah, my name is Takarani. I was representing the group. I'm representing a group of 7, as requested. In our deliberations within the Constitution, we have come out with the few points of discussion. One amongst others is the composition of the executive committee. That this forum must come with the precincts, set the precinction in terms of how is it composed in terms of positions, and we are also reflecting on the question relating to geographic representation in terms of constituting the formal formulation of the structure itself, noting the fact that all those countries that are all here, in terms of the representations as it comes to constituting the formal structure, there shall be, in fact, representations from each and every country that is being participating here, according to what the Constitution it is proposing. And the other aspect is that we must look at the question about the gender question. That framework does not outline anything else as it comes to gender. So we think that it's important that we must have it being part of the Constitution, so that when we take certain decisions are on the basis of realizing those objectives. But also we came to the question about the age determination. We are thinking that when it comes to age, there are many, in fact, countries that currently, in terms of their own undertaking, work has not been necessarily coming to be taking place, but there are work that is currently, in fact, taking place in other countries that may have sufficient experience in terms of work of cooperative. Now, in fact, if we would use the age, it might somehow, in fact, obscure us to certain reality factors. We were thinking that it could be important to rather say, instead of necessarily concentrating deeply on the age question, we create an extension, noting the fact that obviously many other years or many other countries have got a precinction of 35 years, but the group I'm representing is of a view that at least if we take to 40 years, noting the fact that a person at the age of 21 may not necessarily found himself at a stage of being into a cooperative viability stance. So those will be some of the realities that are in place, which we think if we can address them from that particular constructive point of view, we will be able also, in fact, to realize the role that people with experience can add. And we're thinking that there must be, within the Constitution, a non-executive members, so that those who are coming from countries, regardless of age, they can be able to become the support structure or support components of the structure itself, so that we are able to part experience with the one who are not fully adequate at experience with the one with experience. We are thinking that coming to financials, the outline that it indicates to see that the chairperson must be the one who presents financials in case they are fundraised. We are thinking that there shall be a position that it is a treasure oriented, so that the accountability of that funds are not necessarily the competence of the chairperson. We are thinking that the representation in terms of the whole entire question about cooperative development shall look at sectoral aspect. This is necessarily espoused of the fact that the cooperative international standards are also encouraging sectors. So we need to, in fact, if we are moving in line with the ICA, tap into that particular question so that we become sector-based. We think that the document lacks a code of conduct. It does not say anything else about a person who I'm provoked. I'm speaking, they are doing amakosi. I don't understand. All right. No, that's fine. I was just worried that you are busy doing Kaiser Chiefs. It's okay. What I'm trying to outline is that because this is a guideline, it's a guiding document, it shall also reflect the nature and character and outline in terms of what are the roles of who and who do what and so on and so on. And in terms of also, in fact, behavior within the structure itself, that shall be set aside like it is done when there is a reflection about a quorum. So it is also important to indicate that if a person misses plus minus 3 or 4 meetings, what then happen? There is a question which is last. It's about self-financing. Our group thinks that the self-financing aspect, it is going to be a hindrance on the basis of the development of cooperative. Noting the fact that not all countries are equal in terms of capital viability. So in one way or the other, you may elect a person who comes, I'm giving an example, not to provoke any country, like you are coming from Lesotho, where there is no sufficient budget, that it is aimed at making sure that there is a full support. Then by him being in that particular position and fail in 3 consecutive periods, it will be not necessarily on the basis that that person would not have wanted to attend those meetings, but on the basis that there is no backup in terms of financial support in governments. So we are thinking that the ICA shall take responsibility in terms of all those particular attendance of meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Three minutes, please. No. Yes.
Thanks. My name is Lawrence. Like I said, I'm going to be very brief. The issues that we have looked at is to the issue of clearly defining what we mean by a network, because with e-car and youth, it was very clear, even though it is going to be informed also by the issue of age, which I'm going to talk about later on. Of course, that is covered in the preamble and in Article 1. We noted that in Article 3, number D, it speaks about interaction amongst regional youth networks, and we were saying that it will be important for us to be able to come from organized networks in the countries and in the regions, so that we can then be able to strengthen those regional youth networks. In terms of Article 4, which speaks to the issue of membership, the issue of age limit, we could not be able to reach a consensus because there were 2 contesting views to keep the 35 years limit, but also to increase it to 39 as well. Those were 2 contending views, and they were informed primarily by the fact that young people, in particular those that are new entrants within the cooperatives movement, in most cases you'll find that they'll be between the range of 23 and upwards, those who have just completed their tertiary studies and so forth. So it may be disadvantageous that will take young people who do not have experience in organizing the cooperatives, youth cooperative sector. The other issue that we discussed was the issue of Article 5C, term of office versus age is not clearly stipulated. When, for example, you are elected and you are 35, what then happens because the term is 4 years? How do we deal with it? Are you eligible for elections when you are 35? And what happens because you are going to get beyond 35 very soon? And that hence the issue that we debated on the age limit. The last issue was the issue of the introduction, which is in Article, I'm not sure whether I should call it Article 8 or Article 9, because the other version that we had an article also on secretariat, that we introduce a treasurer also, because if you can look at subsection C, it says that the chairperson will give financial reports, and we were saying let the chairperson give the overview or the political report, and the treasurer, if we create that position, will then be able to give present financial statements at the end of the financial year. Thank you very much. Those were the deliberations. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Will you give it? Bueno, siguiente participante.
Bueno, sí, no, can you please give us to the groups that have written down their recommendations, if they can give them to us, to Gretchen, and then Gretchen will use them with the new network, and so that she can analyze the final document. The next group, please. Gabi? No, we don't have another group. Don't we have another one? Well, just one group missing. Sukesh and another one. Oh, is that okay?
Our group are as there are 2-3 issues that we should increase the number of members. A basket should be increased because we are representing the world, and if we are representing the world, the more members should be there, so that proper regional balance in the world can be maintained. This is the number, and more participation actually. So I suggest the global board has 15 members, so I suggest the same number for the youth committee. This is our one recommendation. There should be some non-executive members on an advisory board also, so we can have that. So non-executive member facility should be there. The third one, what I will suggest is the age basket. Everybody is discussing about it. It should be in Asia we did it for 40, 18 to 40. Why we did it, I will tell you. Because the person has to understand the global structure first. Understanding so many countries, visiting so many countries, taking decisions, he has to be somewhat experienced. Secondly, this person is going to represent the world in the committee, and when the person is representing in the world, he should have experience, he should have the authority to say something. So he has to do something in his life. So he should be more experienced, more mature, because we should not take it as a youth committee and youth should be like that. It should be like that he should have enough experience to represent the youth. So I suppose if he starts working and educating 25, 30, 27 years, he will start up something matured, and it will go up to 33, 34, 35. No, and by 35 then he will have no chance to talk to the world that what can be done and what are the possibilities and what are the problem he has faced. So I think the age limit should be by the 40. So the 3 recommendations, the basket should be increased, so proper distribution of the countries and the members and more representation. Executive member, and the age should be by the 40. Thanks.
Muchas gracias y tenemos una.
Well, and our last group.
Bueno, nuestro grupo
Our group will agreed on keeping the age limit 35. Well, there was a proposal that has to do with if it is possible to extend to have an interview or to allow more people to participate. We are not so many, and it would be better if we send a questionnaire to other young people so they can express their opinion. We do not know what happens to a person that starts when this person is 35. Will they stay till the end of this office, that is after 4 years, or he has to leave when he's more than 35, older than 35? Well, thank you so much. Please send us a written copy of all the recommendations that have been presented. And you can send them to me, so that I can send them to Gretchen, so that we can have all the documents and the analysis, so we can work on them later on. Well, we'd like to thank you for your good job, for all these efforts, and we will keep working on these documents. It's something that we are working on, and we want to set up a network, a transition network. This network will temporarily work on these topics for 2 years. We will keep working on this document, and these people will work with the support of the chairman of the already existing committees and other candidates that have sent their format. This format, for example, came from the International Cooperative Alliance through the different committees, but if we do not have members from Africa, we do not have candidates from Africa at the moment, or from Europe, well, we will have a new call to have requests from people from other regions. So I would like to introduce to you these people, the people that will work in this transitional group, in this transitional network. And I would like to have here Carlos Valentin Medrano from the Dominican Republic, as the chairman of the Regional Committee of Americas. It will be part of this initial network. Then I ask Mr. Sukesh to come here, Vice President of the Asia Pacific meeting, and it will be we will participate in this initial network. Gabriela Buffa, she will be the representative of the young people in the board of the alliance. They are the executive committee, but we can have 2 extra members for each region. So I would like to ask Hassan Ali Takur to come here, please. He represents Asia Pacific, and Ababak Bisan, don't know if he's here. And is presented by Asia Pacific region, and Álvaro Ernesto Guevara. Álvaro Ernesto Guevara is sent his format, as a candidate to participate in the creation, the setting up of this initial network, youth network at world level. They will set up a team that will work with representatives of the young sector, and it will be Gabriela Buffa by Argentina. She will be appointed the next General Assembly next Monday. What I want to say to my colleagues from Europe and Africa, that this process has not come to an end, but later on we can have more representatives from these regions. But for the moment, we only received the formats of these people. Can we please a round of applause for these people, these young people, that are going to be to participate in this first youth network. We need more people from Africa, from Europe. For the time being, we do not have candidates from those regions, but I'm sure we will have them. They will come in the future while we are working at it, and over the next 2 years, while we are setting up this network, a formal network, of youth network within the alliance. We cannot approve this document ourselves, because we have to submit it to the attention and the analysis of the World Council of the International Cooperative Alliance, and we support them. But they are the only ones that can approve the final version of these recommendations. Well, with this constitution, this constitution is the final point of our event, of our working day. I would like to take a picture of this group. It will be the first working group at world level that will represent the young sector. I'd like to thank you all for your cooperation, for your support, for your help in this important day. Thank you all. Thank you.
Aquí, sí. Ya.